We're waiting for it. We have a witness, but it's not we're looking for the greater witness. We want to see him face to face, and absolutely nothing else will satisfy our hunger for that. Unless we see him face to face, unless we're with him, nothing else is going to satisfy the saint of the Most High God. For as the Father hath life in himself, so hath he given to the Son to have life in himself. And that's what we're after. When he says, I'll give you everlasting life, what is that? It's to be with God for all eternity. To be with him. If anything else is offered, it's not good enough. I don't care how much you give me in this worldly goods, they're going to perish. Nothing else it's good enough. I got to be with God for all eternity. Then I'll be satisfied. Why? Because he has life in himself. He's already given me life, but it's not the fullness that I'm looking for. I just have a little sampling, just a taste. What's that good for? It gets you motivated to wait. I'm waiting. You say, what are you doing today? I'm waiting. He's coming. I'm waiting. I'm in the waiting mode right now. What do you do in the waiting mode? Well, a lot. He'll give you a lot of work to do in the waiting mode. Marvel not at this. He says, and hath given authority to execute judgment also, because he is the Son of Man. Marvel not at this, for the hour is coming in which all that are in the grave shall hear his voice, and shall come forth, they that have done good unto the resurrection of life, and they that have done evil unto the resurrection of damnation. Behold, the bridegroom cometh, go ye out to meet him, is saying exactly the same thing. This is what he's talking about. There's going to come a time when it's just going to abruptly end. It's not going to be like, well, he blew the trumpet 10 years now, you got 10 years to get ready. That isn't the way it is at all. What is the kingdom of heaven going to be like right at this moment? We're not guessing. This is not like we're looking at this and saying, well, this is what we think. We think it's like this, or we think it's like this. Jesus gave us pictures. We know exactly what's going to happen when the trumpet's blown and he puts one foot on the land and one foot on sea and blows the trumpet and time's no more. We know exactly what's going to happen. Why? Because Jesus told us exactly what's going to happen. Well, the one thing is door of salvation is going to be shut. No one else is going to be able to gain access to grace to believe. This is what it's going to be like. Then, although all the virgins arose and trimmed their lamps. At this point in time, the announcement's gone out. Come on now, get up. He's coming. They all get up. All of them get up. Not part of them get up. All of them get up. And they trimmed their lamps. Now, even the foolish, there was none that denied this request. None that said, well, I'm just too tired. I'm just going to sleep some more. No. They all got up. None was exempt. Now see, why am I stressing this? Because let's be done with the foolishness that Satan has perpetrated in the church, that there will be some who do not answer this call. We have a whole series out there telling people that people are still going to be here after Jesus comes back. This is just a foolish lie. Everyone's going to answer this call. Amen. The bridegroom's coming, and they're all going to rise. Even if you've been dead for 100 years, you're going to rise. It's not, they're all going to answer this call. They're going to stand in front of him. Oh, this is a great, great time. Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all the kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him. All of them, not some of them, not part of them, not just the saved. They're just going to snatch away the church. What a wonderful thing this would be. You see, this is foolishness. All of them are going to answer this call. In the parable, if we stay with the parable, the wise and the foolish, they all arose. What'd they do? Is some of them going about doing other things? No, they did this one thing that they knew they had to have. They trimmed their lamp. Yeah. The word trimmed here, look it up, it says to put in proper order. See this? Now, and if you ever had an oil lamp and it's starting to go out, and if you trim it, you turn the wick to the optimal flame till you get the brightest light. This is what we're going to do. We're going to trim the lamp. Right? It says, another place says, at this moment we're going to shine like the stars of heaven. See, you're going to shine. There's not going to be anything in the way anymore. You're going to trim that lamp. And if there's oil in that lamp, you're going to shine. The angels are going to come through. They're going to know this is one of his sons. Look how he shines.
Yeah, amen.
Look at that. Another one. Look how he shines. Never shined that bright before. Look at that. What's happened? The master's come. The bridegroom is here. And you're shining your light. Oh, it's out of order not to shine on that day. On that day, if you're not shining, you're not going to be around long. Until this moment, the foolish thought they were wise. They really did think they were wise. Say, well, this isn't fair. This is their own doing. They're foolish. And on this day, they've been found to be foolish. Why? Because their lamps have gone out. That's what it says. Their lamps have gone out. Is there anyone who would trade places with those who their lamps have gone out on this day? Can you imagine for a moment if a pauper, someone who's never, a lazy man, someone who's never cared about anything, waltzing into Bill Gates' palace and saying, let's trade places with me. Come on, be a nice guy, trade places with me. He would think he's a foolish man. You're a foolish man. Do you know what it's taken for me to get to this spot? You know how much sacrifice, so much personal involvement has been. I've given my life to be where I'm at. This is what's going to happen on those days. They're going to say, give us of your oil. They're going to say, not so. Not so. So if you look that up, this is a marvelous thing. In other words, they're saying it won't work out like you think it will work out. Even if I was to give you my oil, it would still be my oil. This oil is very special oil. This oil's been with them the whole time. This oil has been with them the whole time. It's their oil. It wouldn't work even if they gave it to them. But they say, not so. And they do it for a very specific reason. Yeah. See, lest we don't have enough. Mm-hmm. It's not worth the chance. It's not worth the chance. All of a sudden, evangelism's going to fly out the window. Amen. If you think of it, whatever you want to think of it. They said, not so. And Jesus didn't say, oh, you're so selfish. Can't believe you won't give them that oil. No. See, all of a sudden, salvation becomes the paramount, shining bright. Now, you got to remember now, their lamps are trimmed. They're burning brighter than they've never burned before. They're bright. That means they're going to use a lot more oil. They said, not so. But they did give them some answer. They answered them according to what their knowledge allowed them. This is where we got our oil. You go to him that sells it, okay? You go over there and you buy yourself some oil. Give us of your oil. But the wise answer saying, not so, lest there be not enough for us and you, but go ye rather to them that sell and buy for yourselves. You got to buy from someone else. I'm not selling oil. I don't know if you didn't realize that there's not a sign over my, it says for sale oil. It's not there. This is my oil. I brought this oil with me before this thing ever began. I bought it then. Let me point you to the one I bought it from. But you know what? It's going to be too late for that. That's what we're going to see. It's too late for that. Because they go, don't they? They go. They're saying that things aren't going to work out the way you've imagined it. You've imagined that if you run out of oil, I can just get some from the next guy. It's not going to work out that way. Not so. The answer of the wise reflects their character, doesn't it? It shows they're not going to do anything to jeopardize going in unto their master when he comes. See, this was the highest concern, was that they be ready. Now, secondary concern, the foolish are going to learn as they go out. Jeremiah 15:1 says, then the Lord said unto me, though Moses and Samuel stood before me, yet my mind could not be towards this people. Cast them out of my sight and let them go forth. See, they're saying that even if you had our oil, God wouldn't honor it because it's our oil. God knows whose oil this is. And if you take it and you put it in your lamp, it won't work. It would be like Moses and Samuel. See, as special as Moses and Samuel were, they could not stand or intercede for this evil generation. He said, oh no, they wouldn't. They might save themselves, but that's it. So see, God knows what's going on. No one's going to get over on God. Saints will say, not so.